Good afternoon on what is a cool, grey and overcast day. It is Wednesday the 15th of March. And I have a nice hot cup of tea and a box to unbox. And this is for HeroQuest. The Mage of the Mirror Quest Pack. Expand your HeroQuest game system. Requires HeroQuest game system to play. Sold separately. I've done an unboxing of that and I've done an unboxing of the subsequent expansions and quest packs for the game. HeroQuest is published in 1989, together a combination of Milton Bradley, MB Games and Games Workshop, which would really create what you might call the grandfather of all Dungeon Bash board games. You know, it's because essentially you've got this scene in the dungeon here. This kind of shows it off. You would on the front of the book, you've got the box. You've got a barbarian being surrounded by orcs, skeletons, and the like. And you've got a single board on which you have a referee, and the other players will control their characters and attempt to complete missions. And that opened up to lots of flexibility, lots of different missions and so on, and expansion packs. And a couple of years ago, Wizards of the Coast, or Hasbro I should say, Hasbro through its Pulse program under the Avalon Hill imprint, brought HeroQuest back after it being out of print for something like 20 years. So, HeroQuest, the Mage of the Mirror Quest Pack. The mirror is the key to saving Princess Melandriel and the realm from evil. In this exciting expansion for the HeroQuest adventure, you are challenged to confront the diabolical Archmage Sinestra. As the elf, you must first survive dangerous solo quests to provide your strength and valour before you are joined by your fellow heroes to rescue Melandriel. You will recover a legendary sword, free 2 of the Queen's attendants, and navigate safely through a treacherous maze. Only then will your fellow heroes join you to gain access to Glynis Fen and pass through the mirror to the realm of reflection to free the princess. So that's all the background. And essentially what you get in here, you've got various miniatures, doors, furniture, and the contents are a quest book featuring 10 quests, 33 finely detailed miniatures, 2 mirror stands, 35 game cards, cardboard tile sheet. I'll show you that all on the back there before I try and fight my way into this box, because it has this kind of, this doesn't slide off, it kind of folds up on over, and I'm going to do that quite carefully because they can be a little bit, I can be sort of like, I can mishandle it and rip it, or it's a bit flimsy. More likely I'm mishandling it. I mean, let's be fair. You see me drop things on the floor, you can see what's coming. So let's get the knife through the seal there. Okay, and then, oh, that's going to come away quite nicely. Yeah, there we go. That proved to be a lot easier than I imagined, and that just folds up, and okay, and then that actually does. This actually comes off, so this is actually just sort of like just folds over the top. So I'm just going to slide that there, and there you can actually see the box cover in a bit more detail. On the back, you actually got more information. Let's have a look. So I was just going to show you that. Even more stuff for me to read out to you. So the Elven Kingdom is in turmoil. Though Queen Terelia appears outwardly strong, she is privately overcome by panic at the abduction of her daughter, Princess Melandriel. A heinous act of cowardice that has brought her unimaginable pain. The young princess, just 5 years old, has been kidnapped. The Queen has confided to me that she received a ransom note that her own sister, the Archmage Sinestra, as horrible as it seems, Sinestra is responsible for the kidnapping of the princess and is demanding that Terelia abdicate the throne and turn over all power to her. Until that happens, the Queen will not be reunited with her beloved daughter. The Queen has asked me to search for a brave elven hero who can rescue the Princess from Sinestra's stronghold at Glynis Fen. But much more is at stake than simply the safety of sweet Melandriel, for it is believed that Sargon is lurking behind Sinestra's cruel plot. A courageous elf must step forward to successfully complete a special set of challenges that will rescue Melandriel from danger and save the realm from peril. So that's essentially the Royal Red on the back, but read that on the back, you've got more information there. So inside we have a bit of a flyer for the to companion app to HeroQuest. Let Digital Zarkon guide you through your Zargons, guide you through your HeroQuest adventures. Every time I hear a Zargon, I keep wanting to go Holy Zarkon's Flying Fish, if you get the reference. And then we've got beneath that we have a set of counters. It's done on a slightly thinner card than normal it feels like, and you've got they're double-sided, so you've got the skull counters, the wolf counters, and essentially various bits of furniture, trapdoors, furniture, your floor, and on the back you have primarily sort of like flag tiles, that sort of thing. Underneath, parts of the screen and a stair section, and wrapped in tissue paper. Quite nice. That's a nice touch. Not sealed, so I can easily slip it back into place. You have the Mage the Mirror quest book, and I'll have a look at that in a second. If you want to have a look at the miniatures, now these are quite strongly sealed in, but I'll just put my fingers there so you can just see those there. So you can see what you get. You get quite a lot of nice plastic miniatures, and of course you pull that up. So that's one tray. So I'm going to show you that. So you have things. So there's the elf hero with the shield and the sort of like the short kind of sword, almost sword. And that's very kind of reminds me of sort of like the hero Link a bit from Zelda. And we have elven archers. Elven swordsman. That's the Queen, Queen Teleria or Telandria. There we go. Furniture. We've got two of these great stonking big bookcases, shelves. So you know, and you can. The one great thing about HeroQuest was always, you know, you've got little pieces of furniture in game, and you had to put them. You typically had to assemble them with 4 bits of cardboard and slot them into plastic to work. But here you just got nice pieces of heavy plastic. So you've got a couple of those. You also have a rack of shield and weapons and so on. Little standees, and that's where you put the mirror piece in. You have fireplace, various cards. Yeah. So that's just on that's level 1 second, and below that. Oh, see, I dropped one, just the one, but that one I can easily find. And these, so what I did drop are little chests. Sadly, they're one piece, they don't open up. That's a bit of a disappointment, but you know go. I'll just get hold of it. Yeah, there we go. So really kind of nice armchair, even down to the I mean, look at that. I mean, the detail on that. The little legs which kind of curve in. They're not just like, it's not just stand there, you know, it's not boring. There's actually sort of like a chair that looks good. What else we've got here? We have a workbench. Again, that's quite a weighty little piece. And the great thing about that is, you know, you could put that down in a dungeon and it wouldn't look out of place in a lot of other fantasy games. We have other foes. Wolves, possibly werewolves, but wolves. Let's go with wolves. So got 3 of those. let's see if we can. One of these figures is going to come out because they're quite firmly held in place. So you've got like an orc or an ogre, probably an orc with an axe. Quite a big meaty figure there. 4 of those. And you've got several of these doorways, gates. Several of those. Portal doorway closed. Slot there, and then another wooden door. Bit simpler. And then one last big piece. This is kind of like basically a sepulchre, you know, basically a tomb, and that actually pops off. That's quite nice. So yeah, really nicely, sort of like nice lot of stuff in here. Let's put this back in place, and then over here, what we have is the Mage of the Mirror, the booklet, and more good artwork on the back. Of course, that could be the villain of the piece, but not her sister. So the Alchemist shops is going to offer you new items. They're going to be the new cards, potion of recall, potion of vision, and so on. I've got a description of all the contents. So it's the Elven Archmage. Yeah, it is the villain. Yes, you've got the tomb pieces. So that piece that shows you Alchemist bench, fireplace, bookcases, and so on. All really nice pieces. And then we've got active descriptions of all the components, breakdown of what they are, what they're used for in the game. As you can see, you've got the inner sanctum and sanctum wall. That's what you're actually creating with those pieces there, from cardboard. And over here, essentially, and various other bits and pieces. You've got various tokens, their explanation, and then we get on to playing the quests. So, how to start and end a quest, mind point, updated spell system, elven riches, additional wandering monster traps, and rule clarifications are all there. You know, so essentially there's a bit of a rules development in place as well. And dealing with large monsters, selling excess items, additional artifacts, cards, and then things like elven archers. So you get really nice illustrations of the figures as well, what they're designed to look like if they are in full colour. Before we get on to the message from the mentor, you know, basically essentially the advice to the player, and then we have the quest map guide. That, you know, basically, which are they're color coded to help you guide the heroes through these quests. So, so you've got colours used to highlight traps that the heroes might be searching for, to highlight monster symbols, and so on. And the big figure I showed you, this figure, not an orc. It's too big to be an orc. That's an ogre. And then we get into the quests themselves. So quest 1, solo quest, the sovereign sort of rules. So you can see HeroQuest, of course, is played on a single board. So you've got all these blank areas. They're not used in this submission. It's just the marked areas. And here you've got the full details of the quest down below. And so you've got another solo quest. Third one, Torelia's Maze, Torelia being the Elven Mage, and then we get on to so you've got 3 solo quests, and then we get on to the group quest, the Elven Prospector. the Alchemist's Lab. And the good thing is essentially you can take all these components, take them out of the board game, and then the Game Master can sit down and write her own adventures using these components, using some of the inspiration here. And each one of these missions is kind of like, you know, it's a nice good afternoon's worth of play. You know, you go to Quest 7 group quest, get onto Glynis Fen, and the Gathering Storm, Silverman's Lair, and here you've got that little insert with the Inner Sanctum there, which is set up like that. There we go. And you've got the other half of it, so this is sort of in two parts. So it's a case of, you know, you start here, you work down the stairs, through there, and this is all unavailable at this point, but unless you go through the mirror there, and the second part of the quest is on the other side. And then there's conclusion. So you've got the basic campaign ends, you've got a reference for all the cards, those are all the cards in the new cards in the game. More of the artwork, and then we have stats and reference for the Game Master, for the monsters, for, you know, the giant wolves, ogres, elven warriors, and so on. Blank map, you know, always map, and then sections which you can sort of like you can take and use and drop on there to design your own adventures. So yeah, these you know, the whole pack of boxes of for HeroQuest really give you a lot of adventure. You've got 10 adventures in there. I mean, the solo ones, of course, I'm not going to give you sort of like, I'm not going to give you group play there to play beforehand, but each of those adventures is sort of like worth playing, sort of like over the course of an afternoon, just to get, you know, a nice group activity, you know, for 4 players, or even just one player, if you know, if you sort of take, you know, one person playing through, one player being the Game Master, one player being taking control of all the players. Yeah, so this is going to look forward to being good fun to play. Another set of challenges, and just sort of like adding more for the HeroQuest fan. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. I'm going to try and put this back together. Oh yeah, let's see how this kind of goes like that. Not too difficult, even though I've actually done it backwards. So yeah, sort of. No, I haven't. I've actually done it quite rightly. I just put the lid back on the wrong way. So that's HeroQuest, the Mage of the Mirror, latest quest pack for HeroQuest. Anyway, thanks for watching another unboxing the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box or a game which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.